Hello viewers, welcome to another beautiful episode on our channel, and today we'll be looking at the two different types of market you can trade in when it comes to commodity business. We have two. Like when it comes to choosing market, what are the criteria, what are the yardstick for you to determine the kind of market you should trade on in agricultural commodity products. We have two markets basically. We have the open market and we have the regulated market. Don't worry, I'll give you the gist. The open market is the normal market, like what you have in Kano. You have the Dawano market, you have the Saminaka market in Kaduna, you have the Monday market in Kakuri, you have the Karimu market in Abuja, okay? So these are open markets where you can just walk in there, buy commodity product at a very giveaway price, and then you look for where you can sell it much more expensive. I will give you the advantage and disadvantage of these two markets so that you can choose, because most time people ask me, hey Debbie, which of the markets should I choose? In dealing with such products, it's very dicey to tell you to go for the regulated market or to go for the open market. Like my mom, for example, she has been dealing with the open market. She used it to train virtually all of us. But for me, I decided to be using the regulated market. So I will tell you why I decide to use the regulated market. So like I said, the open market is the normal market, like the Saminaka market. Why the regulated market is something like FX, okay? Things are regulated. The FX, for example, is regulated by Nigerian Stock Exchange. So it's a regulated market. It's a market after all, but it's a regulated market in the sense that everything that you buy from there, it is standardized. It has been measured, and they've checked the kind of things that are there. So it's not like the market that you just go and buy something and you go and buy maybe like a sesame seed, the bag, and you come back home and you see some watermelon inside. So this is a regulated market. So if you are buying like 100 kg of maize, you are sure that you are definitely getting the 100 quantity and quality of maize. So without really taking much of your time, I will give you the 5 G's so that you will know. I'll give you the 5 the yardstick, let me call it the yardstick, how I use in determining the kind of market I should use when it comes to commodity trading. The number 1 on our list is I talked about standardization. Yes, standardization when it comes to the open market, okay? There is a little bit of problem there, because you go into the market, you buy a product. Let's say you want to buy ginger, 1,000 bag of ginger, okay? Then you go to let's say you travel to Kafancha and you buy 1,000 bag of ginger. You don't know what is inside, okay? You just bought the bag per bag. Like they say per bag is maybe 6,000 naira. You really don't know what is inside. So you just pack that 1,000 bag of ginger only for you to go to maybe Lagos or Port Harcourt, and you discover that each of the bag, they have already stuffed in like say maybe 15 kg of stone mixed with the ginger. That is the open market. So those are some of the problems you face when you deal with the open market. But when you are dealing with the regulated market, because for everything that is taken into the warehouse, they have to weigh it, they have to check it, and they have to gauge it, okay? So, but if you are buying, say, 1,000 bag of ginger in FX, for example, you are sure that you are getting, if a bag is 100 kg, you are sure that you are getting 100 kg of ginger. You are very sure that you are not going to be getting stone, sand mixed with all that. And when you go into the open market, you are buying 1,000 bags, you really may not have the time to start opening all the bags to check, is there stone, is there sand, is there external material inside. So you just buy it, and when you get home, you just discover that you don't enter one chance, like you have been robbed, okay? So that is why I prefer dealing with the regulated market. Another on our list is I talk about the ease of doing business. Just a moment, I talked about the ease of doing business. When it comes to the open market, you face so many challenges. One of it is, I talk about stress, I talk about the road accident, the armed robbery, and attacking, kidnapping, and possibility of somebody absconding with your money. Okay, all this is very possible when it comes to the open market, because when we are talking about ease of doing business in this scenario, you are traveling from, let's say, all the way from Port Harcourt to Kaduna to come and buy ginger, and we know how Nigeria is, right? You are risking your life. You don't know what will happen. You may just end up being kidnapped in Kaduna, okay? You may just have a terrible accident, and another problem is you may end up being robbed. Okay, you may have money, you're coming to buy ginger, because mind you, most of all those rural areas, sometimes you can't find bank, and sometimes most of them will not accept transfer, so you must come with your cash. And when you're coming with your cash, many people know that you are going to Kafancha. You may just end up being robbed, okay? So those are some of the problems when it comes to dealing with the open market. But when you're dealing with the regulated markets, of course, especially now that everybody is going cashless, AFS, for example, when you are using AFS app to buy commodity, you don't even deal with cash. What you just do is you transfer the money into AFS account, and it reflects in your wallet. And in terms of you traveling down from Port Harcourt to Kaduna, you don't really need to do that, okay? You just sit down in your comfort zone, be it your room or your bedroom. You press the app, because AFS have this fantastic app, which I'm going to leave on the description box, so that you can actually see the apps and begin to practicalize some of those apps. AFS have this fantastic app. It's called COMEX. With that COMEX, they have a slot where you can buy and you can sell. The only thing you just need to do, you just sit down at the comfort of your room, you click on buy when you want to buy. That is when things are extremely cheap. Usually, I told you that between the months of after August, you start having September, October, November, December, things are extremely cheap there. Okay, that point you can buy products. You just go to your app, you download it. If you are using iPhone or Samsung, just go to your app store, click on COMEX. I will leave it on the description box. Click on COMEX, you will see COMEX. When you download that app, you see buy and you see sell in the app. So it's as simple as that. When you click on buy, you buy your product. And when it's time for you to sell, say maybe this time, because usually by June, July, August, you start having things very expensive. So you can just click on sell and you sell your product. It's as easy as that. Life is so easy with all those technologies. So why should I start doing like my mom, that would travel all the way from Kaduna to Kubacha market in Kaduna and spend 3 days? We'll be looking for my mom, and that time there is no phone. So everybody will be thinking, oh my God, is she okay? Is she safe? Is she that? Because we know how this country is. So when it comes to ease of doing business, I think I give it to when it comes to ease of doing business, I give it to the regulated market. Then the other one, we'll talk about minimal risk, okay? When it comes to using the regulated market, you have minimal risks like flood, fire, theft, weevil invasion, and poor storage, okay? In the open market, you really don't know what may happen to your product. You just go to Kafanchan and you bought ginger, okay? Most time, the way people do it is because most people don't have warehouse. So most of all these markets, you have storage facility. So you go to Kafanchan, you bought ginger and you store it in Kafanchan with one Aboki, okay? Or with one Mala, or with anybody. Sorry, it's not as if I just noticed that most of them there are from the north. So you buy it and store it with this guy, okay? There is no guarantee, okay? It's not as if there's one insurance company that's telling you that if anything happens to your product, we will pay. No, there's no guarantee. What if, I'm just thinking, what if there is flood and everything? Because my friend has gotten her hands burnt before. There was a time she stored maize and there was flood. This one, it wasn't as if the guy that was doing her sharp. There was actually flood and her maize got damaged. So what if something like that happened? Then what happens to your money? You're trying to make money. The little ones you have flushed it down the drain. Okay, so the issue of flood may just arise. What if there is theft? Okay, or even if there is no theft and the guy just come and say, sorry, somebody stole your this thing and the rest, it becomes a story. No, you must pay me and all that. But in reality, there is nothing you can do. Your money is gone. What if there is fire outbreak? There is no insurance that will actually guarantee you that this thing is not going to happen. Okay, the first time I entered into commodity trading, I started buying and storing and hoarding. What happened to me was weevil invasion. Okay, the first thing I did was I bought beans. I stored beans. I really don't know how to, because that was my first time. I just stored beans thinking I will make money out of it. The time I went to check my beans, because then the beans has already gone, it was time for me to sell. The whole beans was already covered with weevils. Okay, I learned a very, very big and meaningful lesson. So when it comes to issue of risk, minimizing your risks, I think the regulated market is better in this sense, because I like what FS said. I could remember I went to FS. I said, okay, what are you offering me differently from this normal thing that my mom taught me? Because growing up as a child, my mom has always been into trading of commodity products. She will go to Kubacha market to buy cassava chips. She will go to Dawano market. She will go to Saminaka market. She's always traveling, and I can't tell you how many times that we worried over her safety. Okay, my dad will go to the market, we touch, everybody will be scared because there is no phone. Sometimes when she's going, I will say, Mama, may God protect you. May God not let any bad thing happen to you, because we know that it is very risky, even as a child. So me growing as an adult, I just find a balance, a way of inculcating what I have learned from childhood and from my mom, and how to apply technology. Now, FS is coming and saying, hey, Deb, this is what we are bringing to the table. Instead of you going to the market as your mom, instead of you traveling all those miles as your mom, instead of you storing in a place where you are not sure, instead of you taking all those risks, we are going to take it off you, and you are just going to pay us 0.5 percentage of everything that you are going to invest in our market. And I'm like, this is cool, like this is really good. So the only question I ask FS is, what happens to my product? Like, if I buy things from FS, okay, and there is any problem or any this thing, who bears the risks? And I was so shocked when they say, I don't need to worry, that as soon as I buy all those things from them and they give me the receipts, that I have automatically transferred the risks to them. I'm like, that is cool. That is lovely. Okay, so when it comes to minimizing risks, I think the regulated market is much better than the open market. I've given you 3. Then the number 4 on our list, I talk about they provide market linkages. Okay, unlike the traditional or open market, you go to Kaduna to buy ginger, or you travel to Saminaka to buy pepper. Okay, some of us will even bring it to our warehouse. We build a warehouse where we keep all these things. Fine, it's good. You buy it during the cheap period and you hoard it, and you keep it when things are expensive. You want to buy it, because this is the principle behind commodity trading. You buy things when it is extremely cheap, and you sell it when it is extremely high. Okay, even if you don't know anything for commodity market, just know that because of the nature of this country, okay, we are not so advanced when it comes to irrigation. So most of the agriculture in this country, they are rain-fed. There are some places that they do irrigation, fine, but most of the farmers still depend on rain in Nigeria. Yeah, okay. So what this logically means is that anytime that it just start raining, bam, all the farmers will just jump into the bush and start farming. Okay, this can only means one thing, that all of them, they are going to be harvesting the same time. That is why in Nigeria, after August rain, you start seeing everything coming out. You see new corn, you see new beans, you see new yam, new onions, new everything. Okay, and because we don't have very gigantic storage facility, you see spoilage of all these things. So this is where smart commodity traders come in. Smart commodity traders like me, okay? So this is where we come in. We buy all this thing, we mop it out of the system, we mop it out of the market, and we store it. So from that August, from that September ending that you're buying this thing, you just count, all you just need to do, just count 270 days. That is approximately 9 months. After which, all these products that have been so everywhere in the market, you will not see anything again. It will be so dried and it will be so expensive. That is where somebody like me, I'll just go to my warehouse and pick up all those things. So you will see that maize that you bought at the rate of 5,000, you can sell it for 15,000. Ginger that you buy at the rate of maybe 16,000, you sell it. Okay, I bought ginger this year for 10,000 naira. As of today, ginger is 26,000 naira. 10,000 naira cash for each of the bag, multiplied by the number of bags you are buying. If you are buying 1,000 bags, you can begin to count your million. Meanwhile, this year I have million, but I'm just telling you that you should just use your brain and do the math. I bought ginger, started very low, but I bought my own for 16,000, and today is already 26. Multiplied by how many bags I have, that is my money. Very easy. It's not somebody coming to tell me multi-level. I'll tell them I know the normal way I can cash money, except if I want to be lazy. Okay, so we talk about the number 4 points, which we say providing market linkages. So after we have mopped it out of the market and we have stored the something, then when it's time, after the 270 days, when it's time for you to sell, selling becomes a problem again. You start looking for who will buy your products, who will not buy your product, where you should take the product to, transportation. Don't forget that with the bad road network in Nigeria, moving it to your house to go and store, then taking it to where you take it to go and sell, is a whole lot of work. But when it comes to the regulated market, you don't need all that. You just sit down with your Comex phone on your hands, you just press buy during that September, and when it's time to sell, maybe after that 270 days, you just press sell. And what they will do, FS specifically, will merge you with they will link you with anybody that wants to buy product. In less than how many days you sold your product. It's as easy as ABCD. So me, I'm like, if I can go to heaven laughing, why should I go to heaven crying? Okay, because this is the same thing my mom have been doing. Like you see my mom, she'll sit down on top of lorry carrying goods, will carry wheelbarrow. Even when I was small, I'll carry wheelbarrow, carry things inside the shop. Okay, stress. But now I have used the knowledge gotten from my mom, and I have used technology. I can stay in this my house. I can buy product that will full. In fact, I will full almost 50 trailers. I will just use my phone and just press buy. In less than how many minutes, I've finished the transaction. Am I even saying minutes? Okay, maybe minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. I have finished transaction of almost 50 trailers. That is how easy it can be when it comes to using FX. So that is our 4 item, providing market linkages. So FX provide the where to buy for you, and they provide the market linkages. So all you just need to do is just to click on the sell button, and they will match you up with the buyer. Then the last on our list is it provides it saves time and energy. Like I said, it saves time and energy. Instead of you traveling to Dawano market in Kano to go and buy maize. I remember those days my mom used to travel 3 days, 4 days to go and buy cassava chips. And sometimes it's just maybe less than 1 ton. She'll travel all the way, waste all the energy, waste all the time. But with this regulated market and most of the apps they are bringing in now, I can't remember traveling to buy any of those products. I'm knowing fully well that the kind of product I will buy from that regulated market with the type that my mom will buy from traveling, they are not even the same thing. They don't be meat. My mom will end up, there was a time my mom bought maize. She brought it to the shop. Most of the maize were mixed up with the chaff of granules. Okay, but I have never experienced that with the regulated market, because these guys are regulated by Nigeria Stock Exchange. Any pekem, they'll take away their license, so they don't joke. Okay, so the last point, instead of wasting my time, wasting my energy in buying product from the regulated, instead of wasting my time, wasting my energy in buying product from the normal conventional market, which is the open market, I would rather just use my app to save my time, save my energy, and trade on the regulated market. Okay, so just as a way of recap, we have this. I've given you 4 points on how you can trade in on how you can choose the market which you can trade in. You can decide to use the normal open market, it's still fine. You can still make money, but I'm just telling you the risks that are associated with it. You can decide to use the regulated market, it's still fine, still making money, you still make money. So I just want you to have a balanced idea, so that when you want to make up your mind, you want to make decision, you know the kind of market you would trade. So as a way of recap, I told you that the open market, you don't get things, you get things that are standard, but you really can't tell who is watching it. So you may go home and see things that you don't like. Okay, so we've listed five things to look at when you want to choose market. We talk about ease of doing business, which I said the open market is stressful, that because of bad road, accidents is a problem. You may have issue of armed robbery, and you may have the person that is looking after your product maybe running away with your product. And we talk about having this kidnapping issue. Now you may just end up being kidnapped, you never can tell. Then we talk about the second item, which is standardization in terms of quality and quantity. When you're looking for products that are standard, that are of high standard, okay, and which you want to be sure that you're buying 100 bags of maize and you are getting that same 100 bags of maize. You don't want to hear story. You don't want to hear it be like saying like at the fetch and then the watermelon enter, because somebody said he bought ginger and he saw watermelon, rotten watermelon in the middle, just to make sure that the weight is big. So if you don't want to hear story, I will advise you that you should deal with the regulated market. Okay, then we talk about minimal risks. That is in terms of minimizing your risks. Now we say the regulated market is far better, okay, because when you deal with the open market, you may have issue of flood, you may have issues of fire, you may have issue of poor storage facility, and you may even have weevil invasion. Usually that you may even have weevil invasion. That is the problem that we usually face. Weevils everywhere, especially corn and beans. Okay, so if you don't want to deal with all that, you want to minimize your risks, I will advise you to deal with the regulated market. Then the fourth on our list, we said it provides market linkages. Okay, when you use the app, you see buy here and sell here. So you just sit down in your parlor, sipping your champagne, and you're just shopping and making money. To me, that is what I describe as cool business. Then the fifth one on our list, we say it saves all the time and the energy. So the choice is yours. Here is our 5 tips on how to choose the market you want to trade on if you want to go into commodity, agricultural commodity trading. So in case you have any question, don't forget to give me a buzz. Just leave your comments on the comment section below, and be sure that I'll be right there to answer your question. I remain your host, Omada. Thank you for watching. Bye.